Welcome back, my sweet cherry pie. Markets are forward-looking. Crypto, stocks, commodities, it does not matter. Because everybody's trying to make money. Everybody is smart, intelligent. Everyone prices in information. Don't forget this. Markets are forward-looking. Always trying to price in the next 6 to 12 months of information. That's roughly what it prices in. About 6 to 12 months. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't really care about anything in 2 years or 3 years from now. Maybe because there's supply, demand, and things adjust. But that's why insiders always win. But here's the catch. There's always new insiders. Does this make sense? Every time you enter a new quarter, so January, March, you got June, September. Every time, I want you to think about the next 3 months ahead, the next 6 months ahead. There is somebody who exists, who lives, walks among us. They have information about what's going to come next. They know that maybe what's going to come next is another world event. Interest rate changes, quantitative changes, money supply changes, some countries going to go up, down their flight, political turmoil, something's going to come. And they are acting on that information. So we don't give up on the game and say that it's all rigged, because it is rigged. But now it gets spicy, because next year, in a different set of months, the game's going to be rigged again, but it's going to be rigged in someone else's favor. The markets are always chaotic. So that person who knows what's coming up next today, they're not going to be the ones acting correctly in the future. It's fascinating when you see it. The competitive edge of the market required to dominate it changes. You know, it's funny. There's actually been people who got caught insider trading, and you're going to laugh when you hear this. Many of them don't actually make money. Isn't it cool to hear that? You think, how the hell don't you make money? Well, the market is not a linear thing. Because, see, you might have information, you think, oh, this bad news is going to come out, or this bad data is going to come out in 30 days. I'm going to go short that stock. You might find that the stock just goes up. You might find crypto, when that bad news or good news comes in, it doesn't really care and it goes the other way. It could be exhausted from its trend. This is actually a pretty common occurrence. There's been times some US politicians, they've been caught insider trading and they did the right move, but the market went the other way. Fascinating. That's why the best place to be is long term. You're always thinking of long term. Always. You buy in the depression, you sell in the euphoria, you're always thinking about long term, long term, long term. We don't care about even 3 to 6 months. That's not long enough. That's swing trading, retailer mindset. That's where everybody else is thinking. There's no competitive edge thinking about that. The competitive edge is saying, okay, where are we going to be in 3 years from now, 4, 5, 6, 10 years from now? You can learn a lot from the zombie virus. The zombie virus crash happened in March 2020. The government officially declared that we had been in a recession all the way in July 2021. So the crypto bull market had come, euphoria, explosion, in the middle of China ban. Bull market's dead now. They're like, oh, by the way, we were in a recession back then during the zombie virus. There are people who wait for this confirmation. You can't wait for government data. Absolutely can't. You got to be ahead of them. And you'd be surprised, to be ahead of them, you got to be bullish. You have to. You have to be bullish, but you can't be bullish on leverage. If you're bullish on leverage, now you're playing a game and it's dangerous. Now you're locked in jail, and now you're hoping it goes up in a certain amount of time before a clock runs out. But if you're bullish, long term, eventually you're just climbing walls of worry and obstacles. You always got to invest for the future. I'll tell you this now. Newbies and people with normal sized brains are investing based off today. 60%. So if you have a timeline, okay, this is the future here. This is today. 60%, baby dolls, 60% of people are investing based off today. There's no edge there. 30% of people do their homework and they're like, oh, I'm going to see where the trend has been going in the past. This is a P for past. Okay? P for past. This is the past. They're looking at, okay, what do we do in the past? But people get trapped here because they say, oh, we've been in a bear market for a year. Oh, we've been going down for 6 months, 3 months. Therefore, we're going to keep going down. The turmoil hasn't changed. So they get trapped there too. Only 10% of us are actually living in the future, no matter what day it is. You are partying in your fluffy slippers. You're drinking your cold water from the fridge, 3 ice cubes, fancy. This is where you got to be thinking. And don't trap yourself. Don't mid-curve yourself. You might say to me, well, I don't know what the future holds. I don't either. I don't know either. I just want you to focus, torpedo your mind on the goal of the future. You want to learn off me. That's why my community is growing. You're learning to see, hey, how do we think about these? How do we navigate this? Because everybody's out there trying to take my money and you're my friend. You're a baby doll, baby cake, sugar pie. I'm here to tell you, don't give your money to the scammers and the thieves and the grifters. And don't lose it to the market on leverage. Don't fall into that temptation. You got to be long in spot. You got to be holding. We're always living in the future. That's where you want to be. You can't wait for the confirmation. It was scary back in 2022. Crypto bear market going down. So if you want to know, okay, you say to me, yes, my friend Sami, I'd like to live in the future now. What do we do? I tell you, the future is a mindset. But firstly, just get long. Just get long and be quiet. That's what you got to do first. And clean those cookie crumbs off your shirt. Sit up straight. You want to live in the future with a mindset. The mindset is, I don't think the world's going to end. And the mindset is, whatever this obstacle is, yeah, it'll sort itself out. I don't know how, but it'll sort itself out. Whatever it is. Oh, this conflict going on, yeah, it'll dissipate. You might think this sounds naive, and I can assure you this is a very common way of thinking. In the stock market, bulls do not get attention. Everybody listens to bears because bears sound smart. But actually, bears are smelly and they poop in the woods. And they're hairy. Bears sound smart because when you take a bearish view, you tell people, hey, I've put the pieces of the puzzle together. I've got event A and it's going to react to event B, and this is going to cause some sort of, virus here and there, and someone's going to throw dynamite up, down, left, right, interest rates are going to move around, and we're going to sell and everything's going to go down. This always seems like the plausible and rational thing to do. But statistically and historically, bears get absolutely murdered beyond imagination. Not because they're not smart. Of course they're smart. It's because, here's the stock market. When you are, this is the stock market. So SPY, they call it the S&P. Let's just write SP, okay? The S&P, okay? When you're long the stock market, the S&P is denominated in US dollars. You are long stocks or crypto. So same as BTC, ETH, any of our crypto, everything. You are long the asset and it is priced against fiat. US dollar and other fiat. Same thing. They're all part of the same basket. So when you're short, you reverse that. Think about that. When you're short, you are, say, short Bitcoin, but you now are long fiat. You're long fiat. This is why this game gets nasty. This is why everybody gets destroyed. Now, I love day trading. That's okay. I don't want you to do it at all. But this is why people, they keep shorting and they get destroyed. They get a taste of it. They taste that fast money. Everyone loves short money because, man, when things crash, look at these, like bang, just fast. It's so fast. If you can pick these, it's amazing money. It really is so fast. Everybody just panics and capitulates. It happens fast. It rolls over one after the other. But you are long fiat. When you're long fiat, this is what's gone through the back of your mind. Firstly, you feel confident because all you see is fear around you. But secondly, that's a very bad thing, right? So the second thing is you are long the infinite supply currency that they can just keep making more of. Once again, so when you short an asset, when you're bearish, when you're on the sidelines, you're long the fiat. So this is the problem. If the hazards become too great and toxic and nuclear and the things get so bad, the politicians only have one release valve, and that is to make the supply of the fiat even bigger, a double arrow. That's the problem. So you are longing USD, but they're increasing the supply of it. So they're actually, what they'd be doing is, I'm going to make a red arrow here. So as the situation gets worse and worse, your USD, the value of it's going to keep dropping down because they're going to keep printing money as time goes on. That's what governments do. They stimulate, they rearrange. This is what happens. So here you are, you're like, okay, the risk asset went down like Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of our crypto, and you're trying to predict the future, but you're like, oh crap, man, I'm leaning on USD maintaining value, but as things get worse and worse, the government destroys the value. And this is another hard part you got to deal with. The market is smart. Sometimes before the market even really gets you some sense that, oh, they're going to print more money, or they're going to do this new swap line, or they're going to devalue the currency even more. Before you even get caught wind of that, before you even know, the smart money is taking the other side of you. So here you are shorting the asset, and the smart money is, they already have the US dollar. And you are here trying to invest based off today's news, selling the lows, and you'll be surprised. There are people accumulating, dollar cost averaging during these lows. Here's the zombie virus crash. Smart money was buying here, and then they kept buying up here. That's what happens. So I hope this makes sense. When you are short any risk asset, when you're short assets, you're long the fiat, and they can just keep making more of that. And it's just a function of time before they turn them back on. That's why, at the end of the day, bulls always sound naive. Bulls always sound naive. So a bull saying, oh, there was turmoil here. We get over it. Oh, we get over it. Oh, we get over it. Oh, we get over it. Even this zombie virus, yeah, we'll get over it in a few years. We did. We actually did. But when you lived it, you're like, what the hell? How can you say such a thing? But that's okay. Humans, we tend to follow the doomer. It gets more attention. Following the guy, and you know what? Of course you know this. When you listen to somebody side by side, one person's a bull going, hey man, everything's going to be sweet. We're going to be partying. Everything's going to be all right. It's going to be a bit of turmoil here and there and hazard. But, after a year, it's going to be fine. You know how hard it was for me to watch the Russia-Ukraine war in 2022? And I'm like, oh man, all I hear every day is nuke, nuke, nuke. Death and destruction, nuke, war, and there's all these buildings exploding. And then there were journalists saying the world is going to starve to death. There's no more wheat. And I was hearing all of it, and I'm like, man, this doesn't make any sense. All these retailers, this has to be some sort of top signal. And it was. It actually was. Go check the commodity wheat prices. Go check everything. It actually was. It was all thrown on TV. But man, it was so hard to stand in front of that. It really was hard. I actually got like a bit of jitters. I'm like, oh man, what if this is the one? What if this is the time that they actually go full out nuclear war or whatever? Got to me. But I didn't click sell, but I'm just letting you know, I felt the same feelings. I just did not exit. Of course I didn't exit. Diamond hands, baby. Diamond mittens. So I want you to know, we all feel that emotion, but the good result investors thinking about the future, they're actually the ones bidding, or they're the ones holding. So if you have no more money to buy, just hold. Holding is equal to buying. Holding is equal to being long. That's it. It's as simple as that. And I drew this chart here just to show you, look, if you're waiting for a confirmation, look at all the strong money. Strong money was buying here. They're like, I don't care. Yes, it's getting bad, really bad. Look when they finally told you, oh my God, there was a recession down there. You wait for the government, man. Look at this, July 2021. Wow, congratulations. Look what you missed out on. You literally missed out on everything. You can't be investing based off today or the past. You got to be investing based off the future. It's extremely important. In crypto, we are investing based off the total crypto market cap. It's only 1 trillion-ish. All you need to know, it's under 2. It's under 3. That's all that matters. As long as it's under 3, you know that's ridiculously undervalued. I believe one day we're going to match gold. Gold's about 10 to 11 trillion. I think crypto should go to gold, 10 to 11 trillion. And supersede that as well one day. But nobody can supersede our friendship because it has no bounds. Like, subscribe, bell button, or tell mum and dad that you love and appreciate them.